Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Lenentine. I am a FSI out of CFB Shearwater. Today we are going to be doing a full body mobility class. Before we get started, I'm going to read our verbal disclaimer. So in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness level are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If a CAF member sustains an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98. So for today's class, you're going to need a broomstick or a dowel or a towel or something like that. Grab a yoga mat, grab your water. If you want any music in the background, go ahead and set that up now. Everything we're doing today is pretty straightforward. You may find some of these things a little bit difficult in the position, but we're going to adapt it as we go and do what you can at the end of the day. So, first one we're going to do here is we're just going to sit in the bottom of the squat. So you're just going to choose your squat position. You want your feet somewhere between hip width and shoulder width apart. After that, you're just going to squat down. I'm just going to hang out in this position. We are going to go for 90 seconds. And just hang out here. The closer your feet are, the harder this is going to be. Okay? So choose your width. Keep that arch in your foot stable and up. So you're going to pull your big toe back towards your heel. You're going to press your toes back into the ground, kind of like you're grabbing the ground with your feet. Keep that heel on the floor. We're coming up on 30 seconds. So what I want you to do now is actually shift to one side. If you want a little extra pressure, bring that elbow up on top of the knee. Keep that arch set, push the knee over the toe. Feel a stretch on the back of that Achilles area, and explore this range a little bit. Twist in and out. Got about 5 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to go back to the other. Go ahead, rotate over, or shift over rather, same thing. Arch set, heel on the ground. The heel comes up, back off a little bit because you're just going to compensate for a lack of range, and just explore. And relax, and just hang out for about 15 more seconds. This isn't the last time you'll see this movement today. We will be doing it as we get into some of our rotational stuff, but we're going to get the hips first. We're going to go bottom up. And relax. So from here, you're going to go into a half kneeling position. Same thing, keep that heel on the floor, keep that arch set, and you're just going to push the knee over top of the toe. So just focusing on one side at this point. Rotate in and out the best you can, or just hold it. It's completely up to you and what you're comfortable with. Going for 30 seconds, we are halfway through. Just explore the range. If you want, you can have a band on the ankle pulling backwards as well, a little banded distraction. And relax. Switch sides, same deal. Just explore that range. Feel a pinch on the front side. We got a little bit, or possibly an impingement, so we got to work on the ankle mobility a little bit. Got 10 seconds left. And relax. From here, we're going to come down to seated. We're going to break up the glutes to start. So we're going to go into a 90-90. So you want 90 degrees in that front leg, 90 degrees in the groin, 90 degrees in the back. It's kind of like a modified pigeon. And all you're going to do is you're going to push this hip down towards the ground and lean forward. You can come in if you want, completely up to you. Just explore. We're going to hang out here. So we're focusing on that front leg for now, then we'll get to the back momentarily. Just explore. You may have to go way out to feel it. Completely up to you. Goal here is to keep that hip on the ground. Stay nice and low. Then we're going to come up. You're going to rotate over and try to drop this back hip towards the ground and push that hip straight. So going into internal rotation on the back hip, you should feel it straight across. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just relax. Try to drop that hip down towards the floor. We got 10 seconds left. And breathe. Big thing here is nice deep breaths. Try to sink into the position that we are using. And switch. So you're just going to dig your heels in, rotate over. I'm going to readjust so you can see. So, again, keep that hip on the floor. You're going forward over top of that front side. Find a position where you feel a nice stretch. Once again, you shouldn't feel any pain. Just go to the point of discomfort, wherever that is for you. And just hang around. Should feel it right in your glute, backside of the hip. Got 5 more seconds. And then come up. Drop this hip towards the ground and try to push that hip forward. Internal rotation on the other side. This side may feel a little bit worse than the other. Just depends which side is your dominant side versus your non-dominant side. One is always going to be tighter than the other. Once again, nice deep breaths. Try to sink into that position. After this, we're going to do an alternating 90-90, and then we're going to go into some hip extension. Almost there. This will probably feel super uncomfortable. And relax. Shake it out to start. So now we're going to do an alternating 90-90. So what that looks like is you're going to start in your 90-90, then you're going to dig your heels into the ground, and you're going to rotate over. Try to keep this back hip on the ground the best you can. If it doesn't go, you don't have to go all the way to the floor. Just go to the point where you feel a stretch, or as far as you can, maintaining that back hip on the ground. And you're just going to rotate through. We're just going to do that for the next minute. Just rotate through. Gradually try to get a little bit further. Don't try to wrench yourself down. We don't want to injure anything. If you want to make this harder, bring your hands off the ground. Completely up to you which one you like. I'm going to stick hands down today and just rotate over. 90 degrees. We got 20 seconds left. This is it. Slowly rotate through. You can add this to your warm-up if you'd like. It's one I typically use for myself. Readjust your feet as required. And relax. So from here, we're going to go into some hip extension. So we're going to do what's called hurdler stretch. So you're going to have one foot straight out, one foot to the side. Wherever your foot is, just play around with it to where you're comfortable. You can drop down to one elbow, or you can drop down to two, or if you can, drop all the way to the floor. I'm not there right yet. And then we're just going to sit. So this knee stays on the floor. You're going to drive that hip up and straight to get this nice straight line. And we're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. We're already halfway. After we get both sides, we're actually going to go into hero's pose, or the best we can for hero's pose. Pull this down so it's not rubbing my beard. And then just try to relax the best you can. Come up, switch sides. Same thing. So knee on the ground, hip as straight as you can. You should feel it right through this front side of the hip, down into the quad, and just sit. Nice big breaths. 10 seconds left. And relax. So the next one, we're going to try to go both at the same time. So we're going to start up in this kneeling position. Move the feet out wide so you can sit and drop down. If you can go all the way to the floor, do it. If this is as far as you can go, that's perfectly okay. If you need to sit up like this, that's fine, wherever you feel comfortable. Because it is internal rotation of the hip as well, which can cause some issues for some people. You're halfway, just nice big breaths. It's also known as double hurdler stretch. Just breathe and relax. So the next one, as always, we're going to do world's greatest stretch. So this is going to throw in some hip extension, hip flexion, as well as a thoracic rotation. Those words may mean nothing to you, but they're good for you. We'll put it that way. So, world's greatest stretch. You're going to come into this nice, deep lunging position. Set that arch in your foot up top. Front knees going out wide. Back hip, you're getting as straight as possible. So slide that foot back. If you want to stay up on your toes, by all means do so. Or you can bring it to the floor. Whatever hand is forward, so wherever that front leg is, you are going to use that hand to rotate. So you're starting here. You're going to reach underneath and rotate through as far as you can. Exhale, rotate up as far as you can, pushing that hip forward. So again, inhale, come down through, exhale, up and out. We're going to do 10 of these per side, okay? So we'll count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you're done, go ahead and reset. Switch sides. Same thing. So as far forward as you can with that back hip. Whichever hand is forward, rotate down as far as you can, up as far as you can. Inhale through, exhale out. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So now we're going to do another rotation. We're going to do 2 more actually, but the next one is going to focus on our medial hamstring as well as a rotation. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Then we'll get into a squat rotation. We'll actually throw in some flexion and extension, and we'll do a cat-cow. So, for this one, you're going to come up onto your hands and knees. One leg's going to kick out to the side, toes pointed away from you. Then you're going to sit on your calf on this side, and you're just going to hang out here, or lean back to what's comfortable for you. So, ankle off, toe pointed away. Whatever foot is stuck out, you're going to use your opposite arm. So, for my instance, my left leg is out. I'm going to rotate with my right arm. So I'm going to reach through, and up. You may not get as far on this one, that's okay. So when we come up, you're driving down towards the floor with your hip. So in, rotate out, and repeat. 10 per side. Count that as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing on the other side. Sit down. You should feel that stretch great on the inside of the leg to begin with. Same thing. So right leg out, left hand rotating, through, and up. Inhale, exhale. Focusing on rotating through that upper mid-back. Ten reps, that's 4. Good. Let everybody catch up. From there, we're going up to standing. So this is where that squat movement comes in. So, back down into the bottom position of our squat. From here, one hand comes down to the ground. Rotate up. So, hand can stay on the ground. You're pushing this elbow into this knee. Rotate up. Come back down. 10 reps. One more. Switch sides. Same thing. Halfway. Good, and relax. Let everybody catch up. Next one, we're going to do cat-cow, so we're going to get some flexion and extension. Man, it's hot down here. So, if you've ever done yoga, you'll know this one. So basically, we're going to go to the extreme of flexion and extension. So, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. You're going to drive that upper back up as far as you can, and then down as far as you can. So up, fully round, down, fully round to the bottom. 10 reps. So flexion, extension, and hyperextension. All the way up. All the way down. Ten reps. After this, we're going to go to the upper body. And relax. Shake it out. So this is where you're going to need your broomstick or your dowel or a towel, a band, whatever you got. And we're going to go through some stuff with that as you go through. Go ahead, grab a drink of water if you need it. Pause the video if you have to. And then we are going to get started. So, We're going to hit the shoulder, so we're going to do a little external rotation first, as well as a super front rack with the dowel. So we'll do the super front rack first. So you're going to take your stick, or your broomstick, your towel, you're going to put it behind your shoulder. You're going to grab it up overhand, elbow stays nice and straight, you're going to pin it back to your shoulder, and you're going to pull forward with that bottom hand, driving that elbow up and away from you. Keep your core engaged. You don't want to overarch. That's just a lap. So keep those ribs pulled down towards your belly button and hang out here. So this is number one. Super front rack with a dowel. You can do this with a band as well. We're just going to hang out here. So you're rotating that elbow towards the ceiling, and you're pulling those ribs down towards your belly button. So you're sucking that belly button in and relax. Other side. So once again, pin it behind your shoulder, grab the bottom elbow up straight, keep that core engaged, squeeze your butt, pull down, elbow comes up and away. You always want to hold for a minimum of 30 seconds. That way it'll actually give it time to adapt. You can hold this upwards of 2 minutes if you like, but 30 seconds to a minute is plenty. And then nice deep breaths. Try to sink into that position best you can. A few more seconds. Slowly unwind. So now we're going to go into a little external rotation. So you're going to be same position, but we're going to come out. So you're going to start the dowel right by your tricep, and you're going to come up and grab. So it doesn't go beside your shoulder. You're actually putting the pressure up against the middle of your forearm, or not your forearm, your upper arm. So from here, pin that shoulder blade down, keep that core engaged, and you're going to pull the dowel towards the midline so your elbow comes up and your hand drops towards the floor. You're going to feel this up in your upper shoulder. You don't want to wrench yourself here, just go to the point of discomfort and hang out. This is it. You're just rotating out, aka external rotation. Nice deep breaths. Pull up and away for a deeper stretch. You can pin that bottom end on something if you want a little extra stability with it, if you're a little shaky. Nice big breath. And unwind. Switch to the other side, same idea. So pin it in that middle arm. I'll slide a little bit. Grab up to the top, keep that core engaged, shoulder blades down, rotate out, hang out. Big breath. Keep that shoulder blade pulled back and down best you can. Feel that stretch straight through that upper shoulder, down around the back. And then just nice deep breaths. After this, we're going to do some shoulder dislocates. It's not as bad as it sounds, even though it has dislocates in the name. We're not going to dislocate anything. We're just going to rotate through. And relax. So, with the dowel, you are going to place it in your hip crease. So go as wide as you need to. Nice starting point. If you push your hips back, arms straight, have it in so you're here. Push the hips back, sink it in the hip crease, grab. What we're going to do is you're going to keep the core engaged. So squeeze your butt, squeeze your core, pulling the ribs down towards the belly button so we're not overarching as we go through. We want to stay nice and tall. You're going to bring it up overhead, and you're going to go back as far as you can. If you are able to, keeping your arms straight, you're going to rotate straight down. Come back up and through, and we're going to do that 10 times. So up, pushing those hands away from you the whole time, rotate through, and back. The closer your hands are together, the harder it's going to be. If you can only get to here before you have to come back, that's perfectly fine. We're just looking to get a little bit further each time. or to get our hands a little bit closer each time. Try to keep those shoulder blades down, neck in a nice neutral position, best you can. And just rotate through. Couple more. Should get easier over time. Hopefully. If not, we got some work to do. We'll go one more for good luck. So we picked 10 for that one. You can go upwards of 20 if you'd like. Anywhere from 10 to 20 is perfectly fine. From here, we're actually going to get rid of the dowel, and we're going to go into a little bit of internal rotation of the shoulder. So this is the area where everybody's typically bad at, except for a few select people. So you can grab a pillow for your head, or if you have a foam roller or a towel or anything like that, that would be perfect. We're going to come down, just use it to support your head. So you're going to roll over. You're going to pull that shoulder down and back. So you're pulling down with the shoulder blade, elbow right in front of the shoulder, and you're using your upper body to actually drop down and into that shoulder, pinning it against the floor. So right now we're in neutral position. If we bring our hand back towards our head, this is external rotation. That's where most people are good. Internal rotation is coming in. So as you can see, I can't get nearly as far, and chances are you can't either. So from here, we're just going to bring our hand to the top, and you're not going to push. You're just going to let gravity and the weight of your hand bring your hand gradually to the floor. Should feel this on the back side of the shoulder towards where the shoulder is touching the floor, and we just hang out here. Nice deep breaths. On each breath, you should be able to feel yourself sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. We're going to do 10 big breaths. That's halfway. So again, you're not trying to wrench your shoulder down. Your hand is just there as a weight to gradually allow some more rotation. Got one more breath. Slowly let go, unwind, switch to the other side. So same setup, coming over and across the leg, pin that shoulder down to the ground with your upper body, pull that shoulder blade back as you press down. Support your head. If you don't have anything to support your head, that's fine, just let your head hang. From there, this is external, we're going internal, so in, and then just let the gravity and weight of your hand pull your hand towards the ground. 10 big breaths. Really try to focus on your breathing here. Close your eyes if you have to. Get comfortable. Just nice, steady breaths. Got a few more here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And relax. So come on up. Check yourself the time. We're good. Slide that away. We're going to get your wrists. And then we're going to get out of here. Get rid of that. So, for this one, sitting on your heels, palms down, fingers pointing back. You're going to start your shoulders right above your wrists. So angle up so you can see. So you're here, and whenever you're ready, you're going to sit back onto your heels, keeping those elbows as straight as possible. Keep the pad of your arm, or of your hand rather, on the ground. Keep those fingers straight, and just breathe. This side's not too bad. The other side is significantly worse. And just big breaths. If this looks weird, my elbows hyperextend, so don't be alarmed. We got a few more seconds. Come up. Now switch. Fingers still pointing back at you, but palms up this time. Biggest thing here is keeping those arms straight. I don't care how far back you can go, keep those arms straight so you feel a stretch right up the back of your forearm. This side is significantly more intense for most people. If you want a deeper stretch, try to make a fist or just curl your fingers. Try to lengthen that tissue as much as possible. Once again, you're just going to that point of discomfort. You're not going for pain. And then just squeeze. So try to make a fist. If you can actually make a fist, take a video. Put it in the comments. You need to see it. Video or it didn't happen. And relax. There we go. So there's your wrists. There's the big major movements that we'll go through. So thank you guys for joining. Go ahead and practice some of those on your own. And enjoy your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And we will see you guys in the next one.